guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today on Face Off, we're going to be looking at the Sylvester McCoy era. And my question was, what do you think is the best McCoy season? Season 24, Season 25, Season 26, or I'm not sure. Those were the four options. And surprisingly to me, Season 26 had a pretty fair win here. It took 2/3 of the vote with 66%. I was expecting Season 25 and Season 26 to be neck and neck. I knew Season 24 didn't have a shot, but I know a lot of people who like Season 25 the best. So I figured it'd be a really close competition between the two. But no, Season 26 took a commanding lead, and with 204 votes, it won with 66% of the vote, 2/3 of the vote. Season 25 got 25% of the vote, so a fourth of the vote. 5% said they weren't sure. And poor Season 24 got 3% of the vote. Poor Season 24. Such an underrated season. But I have to agree, if I was to pick, I would say Season 26 is the best as well. Although I think all three seasons are good. I like all three seasons. But Season 26 is just a really, really strong season. With Battlefield being good, but having not so good incidental music. Survival being a bit overrated for being the final one, but still being good, and probably Anthony Ainley's best performance in the role. And then I just find Ghostlight and Curse of Fenric to be masterpieces. I love them both. Two of McCoy's best stories. But I enjoy Season 24 and Season 25 as well. Let's see what you guys had to say about it. Boom. Simon, who's a big supporter of the channel, has sent several things to the P.O. Box. Says Season 26 is one of the best in the classic era, not just the McCoy era. 4 really strong stories with high rewatchability. II237 says Season 26, one of the 3 most influential and critical series of Doctor Who. From the New Adventures to New Who, it both shaped and enabled them all. Imagine if the cancellation had followed the caves of Androzani or Ultimate Foe. A very different future for the show, I suspect. Philip says, after 3 rather uneven seasons, Season 26 really felt like the show had turned a corner and was delivering consistently good stories again. Watching it on transmission, I was more hopeful for the show's future than I had been since the end of Peter Davison's run. But hey, what do I know? Henry Andrews says, I don't really mind any of McCoy's season. My least favorite is Season 24. And although I'm a fan of the 25 opener, Remembrance of the Daleks, I do feel that's probably about as good as Season 25 gets. Season 26 is McCoy, in my opinion. It doesn't miss a beat. The tone is perfect. The dynamic between Ace and the Professor is Ace. And the stories are arguably the best of McCoy's run. Sid Hill Bruiser Music says, I enjoy Season 24 because it's mad. I quite like Season 25 because of Remembrance and Greatest Show, but I really love Season 26. Battlefield is easily the weakest story, but it has the Brigadier, and Ghostlight, Fenric, and Survival are just brilliant. Colin Coney, who is one of my top-tier patrons, says, Season 26, Remembrance in 25 is a standout, but Season 26 is way more consistent, and Fenric and Ghostlight are unmissable. I agree. Fellow YouTuber Paul Bailey says, ooh, my second favorite Doctor seasons. I'm going to have to say Season 26, as McCoy is more darker and manipulative. The stories are masterpieces. The Curse of Fenric definitely is. Even though my second favorite season of his is Season 25. But Season 26 is my favorite season from the 1980s, and my second favorite season in all of Doctor Who in general. High praise indeed. One of my YouTube members, Shamrock Particle, says, Season 25 felt like there was a larger universe being explored. But Season 26 nails the atmosphere and tone, even if it's Ace Who. But Ace is generally an interesting character, even surviving her Season 24 premiere story, so I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure that Season 24 is mostly a stinker. So that's a third of the battle right there. I like Season 24 myself. Tedious Milkshake says, honestly, it could be 25 or 26. I think 25 was definitely more consistent in quality. But 26 just had a couple of stories that soared above all other classic Who. And Ghostlight isn't that confusing. Maybe it's just you. I don't know. I think most people find Ghostlight confusing. Maybe it's just all of us. JLBWHO says it's close between 25 and 26, but I think I prefer 25 just a little bit more. Fair enough. Bananas Are Good says 25 for sure. Perfect mix of silly McCoy from season 24 and over-the-top shouty McCoy from season 26. My least favorite story from 25 is the Happiness Patrol. I love the Happiness Patrol. But even that ain't too terrible. I'm afraid I just do not get the love and high praise for season 26. I would rather watch 24, but maybe skip Time in the Ronnie. Michael Hickerson says, hard to choose between 25 and 26. That's fair. Jake says, I think season 24 was the worst classic season, and then 25 was a big improvement, and then 26 finally nailed it. Sylvester McCoy is my least favorite out of the first 7 Doctors, but he's still great. Mel sucks. I like the actress, but the character sucks. She was better with the 6th Doctor. I think Ace was pretty great, and she felt like a New Who companion, which was different and interesting. Season 24 was just really bad. It definitely gets better as the season goes on, but Time on the Ronnie is awful. That's the worst classic Who story for me so far. Season 25 is decent. There's some good stuff, but still feels a bit off to me. At least Sylvester's era and classic Who as a whole ended on a high note with season 26, which is a 10 out of 10. What I do love about the 7th Doctor's is the 7th Doctor's progression of getting darker and darker until he reaches his final form in season 26. Then it's smooth sailing. I will quickly add, based on what they plan to do in season 27, I'm glad the show ended with season 26. Also, its cancellation led to the 8th Doctor movie and then to Christopher Eccleston. So I think everything happened the way it was supposed to and for the best. And Stephen Brown says, I love all of McCoy, really. The McCoy era is fantastic and highly overrated. So, a lot of love for season 26 in the comments as well. With some love for season 25 also. But season 26 taking it with a commanding 66% lead. Stronger than I figured it would. I figured it would have been closer between the two. So if you didn't get to vote in this poll, I want to know, what do you think? What do you think is Sylvester McCoy's best season and why? So comment down below and let me know. Other things to do. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe button. That helps me out, and I certainly appreciate it. I do have YouTube memberships available as well. I also have a Patreon. A link to that is down in the description below if you would like to support me that way. My entry-level tier is only $2 a month. I want to give a shout-out to some of my top-tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I have a P.O. box as well if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, and a link to my Amazon wish list is also down there. Most importantly, thank you for watching.